that's how the agenda starts. You know, yeah, you can reposition yourself into politics and start. We are the coalition of this and this and that. Look at how this Gyampo, Professor Gyampo was acting.
Oh yes.
And you see, before that, I could see through him. You see, guys, let me jog your memory. Probably you have forgotten. He was one of the lecturers who was so bitter, okay, about the fact that his students are now going into politics and they are chopping big money. They are buying big cars. They are this, they are that. There are lots more of his videos on TV3. He complained especially about these young politicians any more than them because the lecturers have taught them and they have served the university. Meanwhile, their salaries are not good. And the book and research allowance, government does not want to pay. Meanwhile, we have these small boys in office chopping big money with land cruisers. This was where Gyampo started. Then later he realized that no, fighting these people will not help. Let me reposition myself to attack the government of President Akufo Addo so that I can use that to lobby. And that's indeed what he did. Because initially they started fighting with book and research allowance. That's what he started. He started with. And he was so angry and jealous about these young politicians because they are driving land cruisers. They have this. They have videos of him. This one, I'm not making it up. And this one, if you say I should back it with evidence, I'll search for the videos and then post it. This one, I'm not scared of anyone.
Oh, it's true. It's true that it's true that he complained of book and research.
Yes, and that he was complaining that these young politicians are earning more. They are doing this, and they sit at Ghana's parliament and decide what happens to university lecturers. Some of them are our students. We know them. Then today,
but you see, I think that,
and you see, Miracles Abuaji was complaining that at late night, as late as 1 a.m., he was chasing them to sign for Baumia to sign Galamsey something to stop Galamsey or whatever.
No, you see, I think that the NPP too will not be a bit too smart. Gyampo at a point in time, you thought he was a neutral person. You didn't know where he belonged. The same thing with Professor Alidu. You know, people thought Professor Alidu was a neutral person. NPP. Professor Alidu, people thought he was neutral. I heard one NPP guy was saying that the NPP gave him money to do research for them.
I know.
Professor Alidu. You can imagine. And so people didn't know that Professor
the
Alidu
level of
is an
betrayal.
member. The political parties should look into. There are people who are their enemies, but you go and employ your own enemy.
But you see, that's why I think that, you see, to a very large extent, not to say I endorse whatever Abronya DC said, when you assess when you let me put it this way, for me not to end up in trouble. Okay, let me put it this way. Now, President Akufo Addo was sort of doubting Dampare to be trustworthy. So now they decided to appoint somebody to be in charge of the operations when it came to the elections. Now they brought in Yohuno. And all of a sudden, everybody was quite okay with it. Because if NDC does not criticize something, you should know there's something behind it.
Yes.
If you watch carefully, when Yohuno was appointed, they never raised any concerns. When Yohuno was appointed to be in charge of the operations of elections, they did not utter a word. And you see, this is one thing. I sometimes sit back and I analyze these things. I'm like, you people think NDC, they are a joke, eh? Like, if they don't raise an alarm on something, you should know that they have figured it out or they have everything under control. If they criticize it, it means they don't have their way around it. But when Yohuno was brought in at the last minute, NDC did not say anything.
Yes.
Now, I am not saying, okay, that probably he was doing Anuma Kone job, as in go and come. That kind of from house A to house B. I'm not saying he was doing that. No, I'm not saying that. However, when you listen to Abronya, and Abronya's position is that he's alleging, actually, let me, because this matter is still in court. He's alleging that the man is corrupt. And if Abronya explained better and did not sound like a personal attack, probably people would have understand where he's coming from. But I'm not saying he's NDC. I never said that. Please, those in comment section, don't put words in my mouth. But just look at it. It was so easy. It was quite an easy transition. And if NDC does not talk about something, it means they know why. And
I think even with the appointment of Dampare, some of the NPP people were not even happy.
I never said it, Ryan. Please don't. I never said it. Which audio will you go and use it at the court?
You see, even with the appointment of Dampare, some of the NPP people were not happy because you see,
yes, some NPP people were not happy. That's true.
Dampare was then a CDS to Professor Mills. Professor Mills had appointed him. So even his loyalty, they didn't know where his loyalty was. Even at a point in time, some of the NPP MPs were angry with Dampare.
Yes.
Some of the things were telling him he was not doing he was doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But I believe that the NPP could have looked within. That policeman who had an issue with Dampare, the one that came before the committee.
Yes,
they could
that
have
committee. There was some truth somewhere.
So you see, they could have looked in within and picked their own people and made it IGP.
Yes, you could have done some research and picked some intelligence because you have the national security under control. Yes. But these people sometimes, I think that look at the woman at the airports. When a board chairman is being prosecuted for an alleged corruption in a deal that was signed, the the one that supervised it is still at the airport. Nothing has happened to her.
Yeah,
and this was the person that was appointed by President Akufo. You can only speculate. And in all that I'm doing, please, these are speculation and allegations. I cannot substantiate it, please. But this one, you can think about it.
Akufo Addo overlooked a lot of things. For example, I was told that even in the appointment of the OSP, they were told to appoint Agyarko as the OSP because he is somebody who is within. But Akufo Addo did not listen.
Akufo Addo, I don't know if I think that President Akufo Addo was big on loyalty and consistency. But that does not work, especially at a point where everybody is saying, change this person. There should be some reshuffling. There should be this. And look at it. At the last minute, he sacked the MMDC, changed the MMDCs, and replaced them with the people who had won their primaries. And there were a lot of mistakes, I think, the NPP made.
But fact, even my MD, the MD of Ghana Airport, that woman, my MD, she was brought in by Nanado.
And she's still there.
Who used to be there, and she is still there. Why is she still there?
Exactly, because ordinarily, with how our politics in Ghana is, should be changed. It means that these are the same people who go and help. I'm not saying, but I mean, it could be.
No, I think that the NPP should really look at. You see, the woman, is she a card-bearer member? What has been her contribution? Exactly. You don't know her. Somebody recommend that, I have a sister here. She is good. Let's put her here. Then you go and put her. Another government is in and is there. Look at the Minerals Commission.
And does that not even ring? So you see, it was these internal people, not to hold brief for the NPP, all right? But I think that there were these internal people who were really sabotaging the government because some of the documents and information that were leaked. Who are the people? You understand? Who are the people leaking all this information? That is why reshuffling is important. When you reshuffle people, they will not have time to cook stories. They will not have time to do bad things. You understand?
Yes.
That's the essence of rotation. You change people so that they will not have time to do whatever or execute whatever they intend to do.
Fact, who were the people leaking documents to Okujato?
Exactly.
We don't know.
I think the NPP, they shot themselves in the foot and probably they will learn the hard way.
A lot of things went wrong and the Akufo Addo, especially with some of the decisions. Everybody was saying
it was quite. I think he's big on consistency and loyalty. But sometimes
he's a loyalist.
Some people's loyalty can be bought, and some people are just about their own interest. You understand? So sometimes you feel like, okay, this person is your person, but probably along the line, you lost the person. You understand?
Yes. And you didn't know he has lost the person.
Exactly. So I think that was one of the problems that Akufo Addo
Akufo Addo is a
faced as a
loyalist.
president. Yeah. He's a loyalist, and sometimes you may get it wrong.
If you follow football, there are coaches like Carlo Ancelotti. Ancelotti is a loyalist. So long as you served him well, he'll put it on. No matter who is
Sometimes you
playing,
get it wrong. It's about the deliverables. If the purpose is not being served,
yes. Akufo Addo is a loyalist, but unfortunately, he could not get people's loyalty throughout the 8 years journey, and
exactly,
it's very, very, very sad. And I think that the Bawumia, if he should be given the opportunity, we should learn a lot from some of these things. That is why
I think even Bawumia has, I experienced that, and a big example is the Gyampo. I feel like if he loses this one and comes back, Bawumia should not trust him as an insider. If you are discussing internal issues, don't bring him. And you see, these are the issues. And you see, I made a very interesting observation about the Bawumia campaign. You know, Gyampo Addo has always been, it was Gyampo Addo who helped President Akufo Addo in 2016 and 2020 to win an election. So I was expecting that we'll have the likes of Gyampo Addo on grounds, especially the core team. But I think Gyampo Addo was giving just an aid to the flag bearer. And Gyampo Addo is bigger than that role, to be honest, in my point of view. Some of them, if you give them a they can deliver. My battery is now, so let me connect. They can deliver. But because of Kwabena Japan was there, and Kwabena Japan was removed and Gyampo Addo was brought in. So I'm sure there is some friction, even though they will not show that we have an issue. But on a subtle on a low.
I don't understand why Kwabena Japan should be contesting for the flag bearership position.
Why?
Because I personally think that, for example, he has contested before and it didn't go too well for him. In fact, the previous time, the first one that they conducted, the one that Alan Cash, after he checked the results.
No. Before you make the point, please let me. And I thought we wanted to add to this one. Please let me conclude on this. Then you bring in a new dimension to the conversation. So the point I was making actually is that throughout the campaign of Bawumia, we did not see Gyampo Addo in the front row. I did not see him campaign.
Yeah, myself, I did not see him.
Forcefully, the way he does, you know. And judging from the fact that yes, there is a new general secretary who he lost to, so probably that is still there. Even though we are told he still attend their council meeting and all of that because he's a member of the National Council as a former executive or former general secretary. But in the Bawumia campaign, we did not see more of Gyampo Addo. So all his knowledge and know-how about winning elections did not come to play. He did not apply that. And probably the Kwabena Japan strategy was in the 2000s because the dynamics of the 2016 to 2020 election was different. And this was when Gyampo Addo was actively as in charge of operations and the chief scribe of the party. So probably there's some history the Bawumia campaign needed from Gyampo Addo, which I think probably they did not get. Yes, so I feel like they should not trust Kwabena Japan if he comes back again. And they should find a way to blend in the people who helped Akufo Addo to come to power. Because there's probably some history with Gyampo Addo that whoever emerges as a winner needs to tap into. But now I'm sure it's too early for him to even show where he is because there's a candidate from his region. I'm sure this guy is from Asin Fosu. Asin Fosu is in the central region as well. Or
Yeah.
Exactly. So unless this election is over, the internal race is over, then we know whoever emerges as a winner. Then we can have this proper conversation.
No, he has been speaking for Bawumia. Because when I listen to him on Kokoroko,
no, I'm not saying he does not speak for Bawumia. You mean recently?
Yeah, recently.
Oh, I see. But I'm talking about election 2024. We did not see more of him.
We did not see more of him. But recently, he has been speaking for Bawumia. In fact, he's been talking so much that people shouldn't blame Bawumia for any mess in the SWAS administration. Okay. He spoke and he was very loud about it, and he gave reasons why Bawumia is not part of the mess.
Okay.
Yes, it was the reason I listened to, and when he came out with this haircut, something that the President Akufo Addo brought, and he labeled it to.
But this was when the NPP lost, and he was trying to bring himself out or like showcase or declare his intent in a subtle way, not to say he was going, but at least you need to be available for interviews and all of that. But he needs to show more of him if indeed he wants to support Bawumia. But now with the current situation where Wontumi is all over working for Bawumia, campaigning for Bawumia, all out to Charlie. And we are told Wontumi wants to be the chairman of the party. And the people of Ghana were not too angry about the Eswal administration. They should have condemned whatever he said. But nobody spoke about it until his recent behavior at Ridge Hospital. That made some journalists to condemn that comment he made some months ago. If not, and this guy, he will gradually wash away the goodwill, because what he did at Ridge Hospital, probably the nurses at Ridge will have at the back of their mind that this guy is an NDC guy. This is what he did to us. The government did not do anything about it. And that may even influence their vote. You may not know.
Oh, yes.
So this is how the guy can wash away the goodwill the NDC has for now. And now when you watch him I don't know why he's so familiar with 37 military area or Ridge. He's like, I think with most of his videos is around that area. This guy saw some hawkers on the streets and was threatening to even beat like a pure water seller because you want to suggest to them that they should pick their bottles from the ground. And he chased somebody's wife because she disagrees with you on your proposition. If you insult me, I'll come and beat you. And he crossed the street. If he didn't even watch, he would have even been hit by a car. You understand? And some of these excesses are just too much, and I feel it should be condemned. But it looks like he has a lot of power to do what he wants. So who are we to complain?
It's just a matter of time.
How things goes. What?
I think it's just a matter of time. I think that
like we all
issue about activism,
let's give them some time.
I think this issue about activism, there's never been activism in Ghana. They are all political settings. It began from Occupy Ghana, where some prominent people later they got position. NDC also came to create their own some civil society groups. All those things are just settings. Anytime a political party is in power and you see people doing formation of we are association of this, settings, it's all settings.